Hey, greetings everyone. It is GleeCon coming back at you one more time with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. We have been both playing through Classic and reading the lore. That's what we do on the show. We play the game, we learn about the lore. On the last lore episode, we're on the last book of the Dungeons and Dragons source material that came back out around the time of first Warcraft 3, then Classic, and into Burning Crusades. We're on the last book. It's called Dark Factions. We just got to the halfway point. The fifth chapter, we read about some of the last little bits of technology they added into that Dungeons and Dragons setting. We've also been playing through Classic, and on the last one we did the second part of a mini pod of episodes where we're doing a quest or so with each character of 3 that are going through the same material. So Eridor had done one part. We did the next part with Nestingwary, where he did a lot off camera, but on camera we went and had him kill one of the other gnolls. So we have one last little part left that'll be on our next Classic episode with Maleficent, and then that will be all packaged up and ready to go. But stay a while and listen as we turn our attention back over to the Horde for a full-length episode with Talanji here, our troll rogue. So one of the first things that we are going to note is Talanji's nothing in her quest log, because she is changing gears. She is actually going to go over to Ashenvale. She's going to start the Ashenvale quest. All she has is the Ashenvale Hunt, which is picked up from the war criers in any, or just criers in any capital city. They patrol around the cities giving this one quest. And we're going to touch on some of her rogue quests as well. So the rogue quest that she has right now is called the Shattered Salute. I'm actually going to abandon it and re-pick it up right here because it's a very simple quest, but I think it kicks off a chain.
How you do it, man?
The Order of the Shattered Hand existed before Troll and shall exist after Troll.
Shattered Salute.
As a rogue of the Shattered Hand, it is imperative that you learn the Shattered Salute. It is the only way to truly identify another member of the Hand. Watch, learn, repeat.
Perform the Shattered Salute on Shenthul.
Stay away from her.
So,
Talanji, pay very close attention to what I do and follow my instructions precisely. Do not heed my words as to sign your own death warrant, as Taskmaster Fijul is very well versed in the ways of the warrior and the assassin. After you get his attention, and you can be certain that if he sees you near the tower, you'll have his undue attention, face him and perform the Shattered Salute.
/salute.
Let me demonstrate.
He prepares the Shattered Salute. Pay attention, I wasn't actually watching.
Did you see what I did? If you're unsure of the technique used in presenting the salute, practice on me. If you correctly execute the Shattered Salute, I will give you the proper response.
And notice that it has a slash each time. She does her little troll salute. Salute him with respect.
Well done.
Cool. So that was what I had actually done off camera.
What's
but
on your mind?
So we're going to, I don't think we have any training yet. So this is the kicking off, I think, of a little troll chain. I think the one that will give us poison.
Well done, Talanji. You're now ready to proceed.
Deep cover.
The Venture Company. Perhaps you've heard of them. For 1 year we have worked on planting an agent deep within their ranks. Through much hard work and careful planning, we succeeded. Recently we received word that the Venture Co. are planning something on a grand scale. Go north of the Sludge Fen to the Venture Co. Tower and contact our undercover agent Taskmaster Fijul. When you find the tower, use his flare gun, then approach Fijul and show him the Salute of the Shattered Hand.
Cool.
Spirits be with you.
Alright, so I'm guessing this is in the Barrens. If we look, yeah, there's the tower. So we're going to go there. I think I still have my hearth set to the crossroads. So we're going to hearth back there. And, oh man, I am like on a razor thin margin about to level up. But it's just going to be to 23, so. Alrighty, so we have no quicker way. There's no flight path that we can go to, so we're going to just have to sprint and walk and hike and all that stuff to make it there. I do think the cool thing about all this is we will be able to, once we get poisons, I just did the Alliance version of this quest, or I didn't do it, but I accompanied Mrs. GleeCon as she did it. on her alliance, she's playing a rogue. She's very similar in spec to my character. So that's one kind of thing about the show that's, I guess, a sort of a misnomer in that, or a false advertisement that we're going to do every single quest, because to really, truly do that, you need every possible racial class combo, because from the beginning of the game, there are the scrolls that come in the various valleys. You can only get those once per character. So let's say you pick up the one that is the level 1 scroll quest for a warlock, and you're in Valley of the Trials. You can't then go over to the Red Cloud Mesa and get the same scroll, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But even if in the event that you could do that, there are little quests like this. There's the Warlock quest to get your Void Walker. Well, there's a way that you can begin to do that in the Human Lands, and you can do those quests. We didn't do that on this character. I haven't done it, honestly, with any. Actually, I think I did the Human Land version with my character, even though he was a gnome. That's just where I happened to be, around Stormwind, when I was doing that quest chain. But you can pick up another version of that same quest in Ironforge. So, but once you complete one, you can't complete the other. It will still show up on Questy and stuff like that, but it will just never be offered to you. So you really need multiple class race combos, at least. To be safe, you would need every single class race combo. Now, in Classics, that's not as daunting as it might be if we were to ask the same thing in retail, because there's only about 4 to 5 for every class. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 that have 6. So, as we're running around, we can go through and kind of try to do the math on that in just a second. But this is another example. Because we don't have an alliance rogue, we're technically missing the Westfall quest where you send a character out, which I'm tempted. Trust me, that would be, I think, again, something that I would consider doing. There's just too much content that I want to get to spend so much time just doing every racial class combo. It's just the content, the gain, it would just be so small. And as much as I love to play this game, as much as I'm sure you just love to hear me talk about random stuff like the 4th of July and my son having to earn Tears of the Kingdom and all this stuff, it's really not what the show should be about. It shouldn't just be like navel gazing on my part, where I'm just talking about my life. Because this is not what it's really about. The star of the show is the game, is World of Warcraft, and the lore and the writing. And while it might not be Pulitzer Prize winning material, it is the game that we love and we're deeply 21 that we are invested in. And it's just one of those things, you know. It's spend so much time, and there's a lot to admire about the game, and we want to be able to fully appreciate all of the stuff. So notice that Taskmaster Fizul here is hostile to us. So we're going to fire off that rocket there, like I said. And then I'm going to salute him. There you go. And that turned him non-hostile. That's cool. I don't know if both of those estimates... Now, this is very similar. Do you see how there are these Forsaken Venture Code drones? 2 of them. Here is where it's not that big of a deal, because a tower with 2 patrolling Forsaken or Scourge or something, that is exactly what you have to contend with on the Alliance version of this quest. So it's very similar. That's what I'm saying. So just for a couple names and maybe a couple lines of dialogue, we're losing. And that is what the lore is all about, but we are losing some of those things.
Interest you on a pint?
Something plagues this tower. My fallen ill and the other Venture Co. employees that work near or in the tower have also become sick. Just last week, 2 of our patrollers died, only to instantly come back to life as mindless drones.
As we can see over there.
The life force is draining from my body,
And I just thought he was a dark iron dwarf.
I can feel myself losing control. Urges taking over. Bad urges.
Visual slaps himself in the face.
Not yet. Listen, mine is a position of power. This position privies me to some sensitive information.
He's going to give me a whistle. Blow on the whistle to let him know I'm an ally, so I don't have to do the whole song and dance of saluting him and flaring again. I'll just have this whistle.
It's good to see another agent of the Shattered Hand in these parts, however. The flare may have been a little too much. Next time you need to speak with me, blow into this whistle twice, then I'll know you're an ally.
Okay. Cool, and I did level up, so I get a talent point. Mission, possible but not probable. One step above mission impossible. Let's first say, tell me more.
About 5 months ago, the Venture Coast Stranglethorn Division got their hands on a special poison from a shady merchant in Booty Bay named Crank Fizzlebub. Fizzlebub had apparently stolen the poison from Zanzil. Yes, Zanzil, the outcast. A troll that was exiled from his own tribe due to the nature of his experiments in necromancy.
The same one that you encounter fresh out of the Valley of Trials that we're doing right in the Echo Isles. That we've already done, we've already encountered him. I think we've killed him already.
Naturally, once they had the poison, they proceeded to test it on each other. The results were disastrous.
Continue, please. This story is intriguing.
Grand Foreman Pilzik Gallywix finally intervened, taking the surplus of poisons to his tower here at the Sludge Fen, in order to study and research the unstable nature of the toxins. A decision was finally reached to share the secret of the poison with the Defius Brotherhood in exchange for a very large supply of a stable, usable poison. Claven Mortwake and the Defius Brotherhood was tasked with the job of altering the chemical properties of Zanzil's mixture.
Defius, this is not good. Not good at all. Please continue. So now we're tying in the Defius, the Westfall, the humans.
Fast forward to the present. The resultant formula works.
Which is also why the Defius have a tower that's like this in Westfall. There's the connection.
Allowing for the creation of a more controlled drone, however. The drawback is that the inactive compound is extremely volatile. Gallywix, everyone in this tower and everyone outside are infected with the poison. It's affecting our minds and our bodies. Our internal organs have become soft and extremely fragile.
As opposed to normally when your internal organs are hard and tough, bulletproof.
This is your chance, Talanji. I don't have the strength to carry on, and I sense that soon I'll become one of them.
Be strong, Visual.
The tower's defenses are at their weakest right now. The patrollers, sentries, lookouts, and even Gallywix himself are all infected and highly vulnerable to your special abilities and attacks. I want you to enter that tower, and when you exit, I want to see you covered in the blood of your enemies. The head of Grand Foreman Pilzik Gallywix in your hands. The last of that poison in your pack. Take what you recovered to Shendul. He'll know what to do. I hope.
I won't let you down.
Very good. Talk to me.
Okay.
You'll need to steal the tower key from Foreman Silix's Stalangi. Once you've got the key in your possession, hold on to it. I may need it later. Remember, the poison has weakened everything in this tower. Use your abilities to bring chaos and destruction to its inhabitants. Slay them all. Show no mercy. Once everything inside lays in a bloodied heat, pick Gallywix's lockbox and steal the cache of Zanzil's mixture held inside. Take both the head of Gallywix and the mixture to Shendul in Orgrimmar.
Okay, so we need to use Pickpocket to steal Silix's tower key from Foreman Silix's. We need to kill 2 mutated Venture Code drones. I think those are the 2 guys outside. 2 Venture Code patrollers and 2 Venture Code lookouts. We then need to assassinate Grand Foreman Gallywix, take his head. Then we need to pick the lock on Gallywix's lockbox and steal the cache of Zanzil's altered mixture. Take the cache, Gallywix's head, back to Shenthul for further interruption. This is how you get Thistle Tea.
Off with you.
This is our Thistle Tea recipe quest, which I really could have sworn I already had done a quest where we got Thistle Tea, but maybe this will also open up poisons? I don't know. Do I already have poisons? feel like I should. Pick lock. No, I do not. Okay, so. What do we need? We do need the mutated drones, not the regular drones. Okay. Now there's Foreman Silixes. Okay, so we're going to begin there. These are just regular drones. We don't care so much about them. Oh man. Okay, so I do not want to fight all three at once. It's unfortunate that that was kind of just bad placement on my part. I went to him face on and picked his pocket. I always want to use Crimson Vial. So tempted, but I did the job. It wasn't flawless on the pickpocketing there, but I was able to kind of smash and grab, that's part of the deal of being a rogue. Sometimes that happens. So we got the key from the foreman. Now here are the mutated drones. So here's what we're gonna do. So you cannot.
Yeah. I don't do that yet.
You're dodging my stuff. And that is my. Jeez, why are they? I do not know why I'm gonna freaking die already. I think I was supposed to use. I did. I don't know why the heck that I died so fast from that. I think I was. It said invalid target. Can I not sap undead? Only works on humanoids that are not. So maybe because he was already in combat. That's the only thing I could think of. Great, I'm way freaking back here. So I'm not doing well on this. This is off to a bad start. I popped my cooldowns, but we're so freaking far away that it's gonna. My goal was to sap one, because obviously fighting two of them did not work very well. This is only a level. Oh, it's an elite quest. Are you? What the heck? How are you supposed to solo this quest on your own? If it's a 24 elite and I'm level... Well, I can pick my new talent at least. Validity, that's what I'm working on. 5. Okay, so I guess let's look this up. It says mission possible, but not probable. So, am I just too weak? Should I not be doing this right now? Take a peek. Mission possible, but not probable. Let's read some of the comments while we're walking. Since we have, I'll give it maybe one more go, but this already seems crazy. Ambush will insta-kill them. Oh. Okay. Cool. Alright. Rupture works very well. It takes off so you're supposed to use all your stuff. Second floor, the patroller's Rupture works well and takes off an abnormal amount of life. Okay, so Ambush will insta-kill these guys. Good to know. First one, Pickpocket. There you say, yeah, if he doesn't work, kill him. That's because once you, like, let's say you teamed up. When my wife did this, I was with her. I was a warlock. I just came along to kind of, for the lulz, to help out. And there were two other rogues, like, kind of all queued up, but because of that first element where you can't pickpocket the same thing, they had to queue pickpocket. Like, they had to pickpocket, kill, respawn, pickpocket, kill. They had to do it 3 times. Also, they all made the mistake, every single one, when you get to the top, you have to use the lockpick. None of them had the lockpick available. So, that's one thing I believe. We did that on another episode. I'm pretty sure my skill in lockpicking. Yeah, I'm at 96. Like, you could go as high as 100 on the things. Alright, so then ambush will insta-kill them. I just did it. So I tried to sap them was my problem. I thought, let me sap and conquer, but no. What you should be doing is ambushing. The insta-kill. That's pretty cool. I actually like that. This is actually pretty neat. I don't know how you're supposed to figure that out, but whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a minute for my life to come back. Actually, I'll pop out over here. Looks like that's my bones. Let me eat this banana. A banana. Hopefully those guys don't patrol too close to me. Alright, so let's try this. Let's wait for them to turn around, and then when his back is to me, we will ambush. What the freaking heck? That's not fair. He saw me, like, right away. Maybe it's because he's a level higher than me? I don't freaking know. 2 levels higher than me. Yeah, I don't know how he saw me. Maybe I should use my distraction. Let's see. Right there. Last time that guy saw me even when I was in the dang thing. He's just looking at me and he can see me.
It is too far away.
So then it says, I'll try to fight it for a second. Because he's like, he's sure he's strong, but now I'm checking this. Yeah, see, these guys are. If you look at his life, it is. Right. Okay, let's eat another banana. Alright, so it does say second floor, rupture works well. Third floor, lookouts eviscerate, transforms them into slimes that are easier to kill. So, interesting quest. Alright, so we're going to now stealth. Oh, I forgot I have vanish. I've got the flash powder for vanish. Okay. I wonder if we... Don't look at me, I'm hideous.
I am out of range. Not ready yet.
Okay, we're gonna see what we got going on here.
I need to get closer. I do not have enough energy.
Okay, they're doing it.
Not enough energy.
There we go. Okay, so we did get that abnormal amount of damage from the eviscerate. That did seem to work. Oh, these guys are only level 22 also. So that's cool. I wonder if Garrote also... Oh, I did the wrong move. Dang it. Come on, come on, come on. Rupture works well. So he did seem to be bleeding out instantly from the Garrote also. That was really doing a number on him. Okay, so cool. We've got the drones killed, the patrollers killed. We have the key. Okay, so now it says these lookouts. If you use an eviscerate on them, it says turns them into slimes, yeah, that are really easy to kill. That's so weird. Well, he did say they're like, their insides are all weak or whatever, so that must be what this is representing. Come on. Okay. We gotta turn into the slime. going, and then after this, I will eat another banana, I guess. I can't be messing around on this quest. Okay. Oh, that's another lookout, but we only needed 2. Okay, Gallywix, ambush him to lower his life to 50. If you're level 20, bring a friend. Okay. Now, I believe what we did with, when I watched them do the Alliance version, they didn't need to kill the top person. I don't think they needed to do all this. So the quest is a lot different when it comes to that. Okay, so it says ambush him, and that cuts off half his life, and then we're just gonna get going on for that. Okay. Yeah, that takes half his life off. I'm gonna get those things going. I'm gonna try a little bit of everything on him. Oh my gosh. I'll say he hits hard. Potion just in case. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Ooh, got his head. And now I can pick lock, so I can do that. That was tough though, but as you can see, I had to use all my stuff. So I got the cache of Zanzil's. Now look, you have for 1 week, you carry the touch of Zanzil. The poison courses through your veins, seek aid. That happens on the Alliance version of this quest also. So now you're like needing to find aid. But we're just gonna go and find our little friend. This guy. So yeah, as you can see, he's back to being hostile. So we're gonna blow this whistle. No, he says blow it twice, but I guess that's implied in right-clicking it. And then what am I supposed to do to him?
You got my attention.
That's it. He just tells a story.
Good.
So we don't actually need to do anything, but in case you accidentally tripped up on him, I guess, and got hostile. Alright, so now we need to go back to Shenthul in Orgrimmar. So now we are going to run, I guess the closest flight path would be the crossroads. We'll run back to the crossroads and then fly back. Because we can't hearth or anything right now. What is 21? I can't click them. But that's cool. I'm a little bit bummed out that this was the Thistle Tea quest and not the... Maybe it will also teach me poisons. Maybe I'll get both. Because if all I get out of this is the recipe for Thistle Tea, I'm going to be super duper bummed. And this, I can't cook. Forgot I did not train cooking on this character. Well, that's freaking terrible. And it requires Swift Thistle, so you pretty much have to be an herbalist as well to make the best use of it, or have a character feeding you Swift Thistle. So I guess I'm not learning tons of not utilizing that. I'll put that's gonna get stuck in my bank because I'm a cooking 14. I whatever have to go either hunting cooking mats or go. Really, I probably would have to spend some time. I don't think I've done any fishing on this character at all. Yeah, I've none. 0, not fished one time. I do know that I don't know how, but when my wife finished this version of the quest, she had access to poisons. Don't know if that's kind of packaged in, or if we had completed another quest and she got poisons. It's tough for me to say. Don't know exactly. These episodes, I do like to try to keep them close to around an hour. This one, I might actually come in a pinch under, because I need to be able, right around 30 minutes from now, give or take, something I have to do, but I wanted to squeeze this episode in real quick. So this one might come in just under an hour, just for me to be safe. We're going to kind of just play it by ear and see where we're at with everything. One thing that I did, I just am using throwing daggers, that's fine. But she is an engineer, so I could train her in guns. Does she have a subtraction to her agility? What is minusing? Is that the Zanzel? Minus 15. I wonder if that's part of what the Touch of Zanzel is doing. Because what else would I be taking a minus 15 to agility from? Yeah, I don't see anything. So I bet you that's what it's doing. Coincidentally, I just never even noticed that on when I saw this Touch of Zanzel. So it's basically taking the plus 17 that I'm gaining, and it's taking away most of that I'm gaining from gear. Anyone got a whelp for sale? Whelp. Don't use garrotes for the guys on the floor level. It one-shots you and doesn't give you credit. Why would it not give you credit? You're just supposed to kill them. Weird. Unless they're talking about the guys outside. Solo at 20. If you're mildly twinked and use the weaknesses. Part 1, pickpocket. Yeah. Part 2, only approach 1. Their stealth detection is insanely high. I agree. I felt like that too. Then run, drop aggro, come back. Very easy. Probably the easiest part. Hack and slash, and then weak against rupture. Yeah. See, they're talking about anybody got the buff times. Like, that is... I was playing on Horde last night.
Strength and honor.
I'm gonna fly back to War. And they were just talking about, oh, in WoW Classic, especially on most servers, it's just so much more Alliance than Horde and blah blah. I feel like I see a lot. Now, I will say there's a lot more trolling, like where Alliance are coming to kill Horde starting zones. That happens more. But it's not like, I think we've played, if not I've done it off camera, where the Horde was like shredding up Westfall quest givers. So it just happens. I don't know why trolls do that. Again, and just comment at me if you have the answer, other than just they're just trolls. If that's just the answer, that's just who they are, then that's fine. You need a dagger, yeah. So it's saying use ambush. That's, I guess, the benefit of me being a dagger rogue. Have evasion, healing potions. Yeah, I did all that. Ambush, pop evasion. Yeah, hack away, healing potion, facing away. Oh. So yeah, just kind of looking through. So another thing, so what were we talking about? How many accounts would you really truly need to level, possibly up to as high as level 60, if you wanted to get every variation of every quest? I mean, okay, so with the humans, that would give you all of the Stormwind-based quest. Plus it would give you humans. But humans have warriors, rogues. I don't know that there are human hunters. Mages, yes. Warlocks, yes. Priests, paladins. I think that's the 6 you get for humans. Warriors, mages, warlocks, priests, paladin, and rogue. I don't think anything has more than 6, so you can't be the hunter in the beginning. Alright, so remember we're going to the rogue part of town here, the little shadowed area. However, you really need to run... I guess you would just really need... You would need one class for each faction, for sure. And then, hypothetically, you would need 2 to 3 classes of each faction. So let's kind of, I guess, we'll run through this. So you would need one alliance. Yeah, this would be better. Rather than saying specific race, you would need an alliance. You would need 2 alliance warlocks. So boom, that's 2 characters right there. You would need 2 alliance mages. I don't believe that you would need more than 2 because for warlock and mage, they're not practiced by the night elves. So the night elf capital won't offer things for that. But we're up to 4 characters. Priests, probably 3 to be safe. Because they're offered it all. So now we're up to 7. Hunters, 2. So that brings us up to 9. Rogues, 3. We're at 12. Alright, let's take a peek here. See what this guy's saying.
Greetings, man.
What have you to report, Talanji? Poor Fiju. He was a good agent, one of our best. Alas, it is the price we pay, Talanji. Being a field agent of the Shattered Hand is dangerous work. You performed your duty well, Rogue. It'd be a shame if you did not live to serve us again.
Yeah, I did not gain poison. A biscuit.
Take a sample of the mixture to Surge, Hillnut, and Terran Meal. If anyone can cure you, it's Surge. Live long enough and Surge will show you the ways of poison creation and use.
So now he wants me to freaking go to the Hillsbrad foothills. And not to mention, I will be cursed with this touch of Zanzil until I do. That's so annoying. So they're forcing your hand, and so even though I'm not interested in sending this character, Talanji, was she going to go over there? No. Now I was planning on some point to go to Arathi Highlands. So that's where our episodes. She was going to start Ashenvale, but this is not where our episode's going to take us today. We got maybe about 15 minutes. We're going to get as far as I can on this. We have to now go outside of Orgrimmar and take the Zeppelin over, and then we're going to have to walk. It's obnoxious. To Hillsbrad Foothills. Why would we not have to do that? Probably to the town there, which means that we're going to have to go from Orgrimmar. I don't know that she's even been on the Zeppelin, so she probably has none of the flight paths. So she's going to have to go walking through Silverpine Forest. Well, and the thing is if we log without this happening, unless the poisoning does not, that's a pretty clever name, incredible. A lot of Tauren have clever puns with bull, I like it. So I guess that's what we're going to do. Like I said, because of my time constraints, we're going to just go as far as I can. If I come back and the week has passed and we no longer have the curse on us, cool, we no longer have the curse, we can still do the quests, I'm sure. And then we will ignore and just come back and although I really do want poisons, that's the downside, is such a huge part of being a rogue. From the flip side, I come back on and it doesn't stop decaying off camera, well then we are gonna be forced. We're gonna have to do it anyway, so that's what we'll do. We'll just go as far as we can in our 15-ish 10-15 minutes is what I got. Should be able to take us. We should be able to take the Zeppelin, pick up the flight path. And actually, she's probably been to the Undercity because we did those Ragefire Chasm quests, and one of them is in the Undercity, so she has the flight path there. So that's good. I don't know if she did the one turning in to Silverpine. We'll check that, I guess. Tough call, I'm not 100% sure. Because I don't want to walk into the Undercity.
Hey, how you doing?
That's the wrong Zeppelin. I don't want to walk into the Undercity if we haven't been there. If we don't need to. So let's see. She's obviously been to the Undercity. It looks as though she's been to the Sepulchre as well to turn in that one quest. So, since she's done that, we should be able to at least fly to Sepulchre, and then we go to Hillsbred. Hillsbred, we are going to have to walk all the way over to this guy, and that's what we'll do. So that should be ideally something that we can get done within the next 10 to 15 minutes. That hike. That's our goal, and then we're going to turn this quest in, talk about it on the way there, I guess. Let's look at, it's called Hillknot's Assistance. So I'm not going to spoil it too much. We're going to read the quest and everything, but let's look up Hillknot's Assistance. Actually, I'm probably doing the wrong search because I'm doing search guides. I usually don't even go in there. I guess we'll check it out. Hillknot's Assistance. We'll look up something like that. It's still not there. Quest. Okay. Anyone can cure you, live long enough, da 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 da. We get there, and he is going to. He'll give us a. Yeah, so he's going to cure us right when we get there. That's good. So we're not going to have to worry about that, and maybe he will also. So it says you don't need the quest. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. So this is, that's it. He should just be giving us poisons after this. No quest line, which is great. Oh, play an old-fashioned anti-venom removes his poison. It does just say poison. That's cool too. Good to know. Oh, so this guy's talking about the other lines of the quest. All right, so that kind of answers some of the questions that we were kind of that I was sort of worried / wondering about. It does seem like we'll just have to travel to this guy and turn it in. So for whatever reason, they really want to breadcrumb us as rogues over there. I do need that flight path eventually anyway, so why not? Butt lovers. That is a if you are not part of this server cluster, and Shadows of the Grave is an affiliate. These are all affiliated. Depression Farming Squad, I don't know, but I'm actually in that guild with Moln. It's actually not Norse Priest. It's not a very chatty guild. But Butt Lovers is a Tauren-only guild that advertises a lot in on this server cluster. And I believe they said they're affiliated with the Shadows of the Grave and Shadows of something else. Those are, if you want to be affiliated with that guild, but are not Tauren. But they talk a lot in chat, and got a lot of funny Tauren punny names. So cool. Scout ads we love. This is the Zum Zum, the Warrior Rose. That's just like, I don't know. I mean, Warrior Rose, that makes me feel like it's either a female or, I don't know, someone that's almost RPing, gets seriously into their name. Sometimes I make, like, Volgrim here, but I don't know what that comes from. He might be like my guy, where he's just trying to either auto-generate a name or act somebody. See, I like the clever punny names. Euro, URO, I don't know what that is. That could just be whatever. But incredible. Lamb. Sometimes that's another thing you see that's common. And I do all of these various things. Every single one of these. Across my 50 or so characters, I have a character that's representing. You've got Talanji here, like I am. That's kind of like an RPing name. You've got, let's say, Volgrim. I'd still say that's like RPing. Warrior Rose. Okay, so maybe you wanted to have a name that's sort of not funny, and indicative. That's probably the least likely of something that I'm going to make. So just you want a name that's kind of fantasy like an RP and goes with your character. Usually to me that it highlights you have not been doing this for decades. Because once you have, that's the kind of name that loses appeal. It's like a name that a kid or an amateur would make. And I'm not trying to throw shade. It's the kind of name that my wife would probably make. But usually we make our names together, and she's kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to that. Even though she's only been playing a couple years, she will right in there, and she's somewhere between making jokes, asking me for aid, but and then there's the punny names, love those too. And the other one, that name Lamb, would be the fourth category, I would say, which is just choosing a word that is easy to remember that hasn't been taken. So I guess there's probably a fifth category, which would be like a bot name. Bot names are where you have like a person that multi-boxes 5 of the same name, and they just put like different accents or add a slight variation, the same 3 letters, or I saw a multi-boxer running around and their characters' names were like 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. So again, your names could be RP names, which is what you default get if you decide to auto-generate your name. You're going to get an RP name, a name that's in character for the game. Which I like to do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm just in that mood. Nothing wrong with that. You can get the names that are kind of tied to the fantasy element of your character, but don't have any kind of humor element to them. And actually, some of my characters that I play as, some of my favorite ones, I've done that.
Trust no one.
Where I just go with something that I feel seems cool in the moment. Those names I'm usually less stoked on over time. I'm trying to remember some of the character names I've had over the years. I usually, as I play more and more and make more and more characters, I default to one of the other 3. Either the pun names, because they genuinely bring me joy when I see a clever pun name in others, so I try to do that as well. Like my main retail tank is a night elf, a blood elf, witch, vengeance demon hunter, and his name is Saved by the Belf. Because, blood elf, abbreviated Belf, blah, 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 Saved by the Bell. I think it's clever, I like it. I've never had any positive comments on it, but it pleases me. I have a Mechanome tank also named Johnny 5, just because I thought that was a funny little robot. I don't know. So that's probably on the less clever side of things. But like my main assassin rogue is named Twinkle, and I originally named it because I was really heavily into reading the Dritz Duerden books. There's like 30 of them in the Forgotten Realms at that time period, and he has 2 swords. As a rogue, you're a dual wielder. I thought it would be cool to name myself Icing Death. I didn't know, but Twinkle seemed. I just like the idea of naming it Twinkle because it's also sort of like a silly name for a hero to be called Twinkle. Also, there's the whole added element of the twinking that exists, and I did a lot of twinking early on with that character because I've had him for a super long time. So there's all those elements. So I don't hate that name at all. It's easy for people to say. Unfortunately, it was taken, so I did have to do like an accent or whatever on one of the letters. I hate doing that. I I just don't like it. I used to just succumb and do it, but now if I can't find one that no one has chosen, I just refuse to do it. But yeah, sometimes I'll just go like, I have one of my Pandarin are, I wanted to somehow go get like sad panda out of it, so he's a panda, and I named him like the Chinese word for sad, which is Beishong. Beishong. I'm not sure exactly what the phonetics are of it. I just don't remember. I looked it up at the time. Chinese is a language, if you're not familiar, that has 5 tonal phonetic variations for every syllable. So bei in itself could be rising, falling, or flat, or have a dip, or rising, falling, flat. So it's, I don't know. So the reason why I made so many characters is because I have that goal I've talked about on the show, which is make one of every spec, and that's kind of what we're talking about here. If you really wanted to be thorough, and that just seems to me not good content. Even this right now, this is not the best content when we're running, and we do a lot of that on Classic. Fortunately, we will do a lot less of that as we progress into more and more modern versions of the game. It's part of what makes the game feel so awesome and expansive when you're actually playing it, so I don't hate it. I know that it doesn't make the best content, but I do want to try to bust out. We're already coming a little over time, but I really am hoping we're so close. We're about to be in Hillsbrad, and then we just have to get into the town of Hillsbrad. Hoping we can do that in just a few minutes. We're still 13 minutes under an hour. So yeah, like as far as episode length, we're not going too far, but it's like a double-edged sword. It's like I want this to be off of cooldown, but I don't want time to have passed that quickly. One of the things I like about being a Worgen with my main assassin is you get the sprint, the natural sprint ability that Worgen have. So you have 2 different sprints that you can have on cooldown, which is pretty nice. So when we were doing our count, great, we're gonna have to go around these guys, or I could stealth. Only level 19, but so yeah, quicker for me to just kind of detour. So what did we say? So we said that you would most likely need 2 mages. That's 2. 2 warlocks. That's 4. 3 priests. That's 7. We moved on to rogues. You would need 3 of those. That's 10. Hunters, just 2. So that brings us up to 12. I think there's 9. Yeah, there are 9 different classes. I'm trying to remember. We did 3, 2. So there are 4 leathers. Druids, just 1. So that brings us up to 13. And who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting the other. Shaman. There are none. Okay, cool. So no shaman. So it's just 8 per faction. So 13, and then paladin. You would just need. Actually, I think you can be a dwarven paladin. So then that would bring us to 14. And then, or maybe that's 15, I might have miscounted. And then everybody can be a warrior, so that's excellent. So you would need 15 or 16 alliance, and we'll do a count real quick, but I'm pretty sure that's probably the same for the horde. Okay, we just have to make it over to there. So we're at 15 or 16, so going through the same list for horde, for warlocks, you would need all 3. Well, no, I forgot. Tauren is our 3rd. I was making a troll. So you'd need 2 warlocks. You would need 2 mages. Okay, so we're up to 4. You would need 2 priests. So we're up to 6, because I don't think the Tauren can be priests either. They have a very limited set. So that's 6. You would need just 2 rogues. I don't think Tauren can be rogues. Yeah, they only just now in retail made Tauren rogues a thing. So that's 8. And then hunters, don't think you can be a Forsaken hunter. So that's just 2 more, that's 10. Then druids, just the Tauren, so that's 11. And shaman, that would spread us because I think of almost all the races, so 2. So that's 13. Of course, everyone can be a warrior, so that brings us up to 16, and there's no paladin. So my guess is most likely 16 of each. So you would need about 32 different characters if you really wanted to cover almost all of your bases as possible. And if you really wanted to cover every single base, that number would have to increase a lot. Almost to 1 of every single possible race class combo. You could probably be safe cutting out some of the overlaps, like for instance, the gnome dwarf. Like you most likely wouldn't need a gnome and a dwarven warrior, or a gnome and a dwarven warlock if there's overlap there. Probably would not need a troll and a orc, shaman, warrior, hunter. So those rogue. So there's some overlap that you could definitely cut out. Alright, so we are coming in close here on my time that I would say 6:15 on this server time is probably about the absolute latest I could push it, and I really don't want to push it that late. Really kind of want it to be done by now, but we're so close. We're just going to cut up that road right there, and then turn the quest in. It did read, if you saw that, or if I read it out loud, when we turn in this poison, we would need to do that. So I think you'd have to really compile a database, and unfortunately, there's not a great one that exists, and I love the idea of making that database. But we would basically have to take the project I'm doing now and start it again from scratch with every single possible race class combo. And like Wowhead has all of these things done, but not from one single person. So it's, you just have like these things that are, for instance, considered. That's cool. It's got a little robo protector. Wellhead has these things that are just kept separate. Like you've got your class quests that are separated by class instead of by there should just be a nice, smoother way. But also, Classic does a annoying thing where they make you continually come back and pick up quests from zones that you've already completed. Like the couple we have in Elwyn Forest that continue to do things in Red Ridge. Alright, so let's turn in this quest and get our curse off of us. Is it in here? Is it? Store. And then he will... Here we go. Surge cannot. Another interruption. How am I supposed to get any work done like this? Don't answer that. Do I look as if I care what you have to say? Why don't you go bother Mr. High and Mighty instead? What's this? You look deliciously pale, rogue. Just a foul aroma you give off. I must know. I've never seen such a wondrous result from a poison. Zanzil, you say? Never heard of him. However, I must commend him on the creation of this concoction. I am to cure you of this and then teach you how to make the use of the poison. Give me a few moments to examine the toxicology.
Trust no one.
So one thing is, it does make me feel like the Witch Doctor class and the Alchemist, like those things as classes in the Dungeons and Dragons book that we've saying. It does have some credence if you look at characters like this. All right, so he's gonna make us the poison. I don't know if any of these guys will actually like sell us poison. We're not sticking around to do this zone. We've actually already read some stuff because we've already started questing here with our Forsaken Warlock, so that's cool. We get to pick some more of that stuff up Whoops. What he did. So he made the poison. Guess he's maybe done. He did something. There we go.
What do you require?
The cure is ready. With this antitoxin and the creeping madness will stop. However, I will not be able to do anything about the smell.
Watch your back.
Sweet. Okay, so we can now drink the potion. Great. And I believe we now also know how to use poisons. So that's great. I'm so happy about that. If you look at the general, we can now create and mix poisons. This is one more. It says with store-bought, both found and store-bought ingredients, we are not a, whatchamacallit. But we'll play around with the poisons next time. We'll hearth back to Orgrimmar, and we'll start the actual quest line. So it really took our whole hour just doing these rogue quests. But that's fine. We can do that sometimes. All right, we have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching and for listening. Let's give the old salute again, and I'll see everybody next time on Lore of Warcraft.